Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. I've seen a lot of posts recently about pushing through, planning for 2022 to head into the new year with gusto, limping towards the finish line, or generally hustling to the end. I've seen coaches and social media mentors pushing a mentality to be more, show up level, and take great leaps when we haven't even finished this year yet. Admittedly, I have caught myself with these thoughts over the past few weeks as well, but I have consciously stopped myself because what exactly is the end? Is it the 2-week break that we allow ourselves to celebrate the birth of Jesus and the new calendar year? I know that the past 2 years have been challenging on so many levels, to say the least, and we all need a break. I absolutely adore the sweet nothingness between Christmas and New Year that so many of us are able to indulge in, and I hope that you do. But honestly, there is no end when it comes to your brand. There is no invisible finish line. Your brand is a continually evolving entity that will go on for a couple of weeks with or without you. If you've set it up purposefully and taken consistent steps towards cultivating your reputation in alignment with your vision and purpose, then your brand will carry on regardless. And if you don't post for a couple of weeks, or you need some time to process and reflect on the year that has been before you dive into planning for next year, lovely, take all the time you need. You should have no fear in taking time off social media. You should feel no pressure to push through. I understand that you may have some projects to wrap up so that you can take a proper mental break. But if those projects take a couple of extra days, what's the big deal? Release yourself from this imaginary pressure that has been instilled in you and allow yourself to flow with the season. Here's how I'm heading into the final couple of weeks of the year and walking into 2022. And I hope these steps are helpful to you too. Number 1 is reflect on all you've achieved. You might hear this a lot, but we don't do it often enough. Write down your wins and celebrate them. Express intentional gratitude. Give yourself a pat on the back for your progress and achievements in 2022. Number 2 is identify the learnings. We all make mistakes in business. In fact, it is how we learn. I can't even begin to tell you the personal growth I've experienced this year because of some very emotionally difficult lessons. But to ensure that we are in fact learning, we need to get comfortable being uncomfortable and recognize where we went wrong so that we can take a different path or avoid making the same mistake again. The most important thing is to keep your eye on the prize and keep moving forward, no matter what. Number 3, create space to realign yourself with your brand. What's important to you and what you'd like to do differently in the new year. This is the perfect time for a brand review. We have a brand review process that is available inside the Branding Hub that you can access anytime. I do recommend a brand review every 3 months if you're new to business, or every 6 to 12 months if you are more established. So head on over to rachelreiter.com/the Branding Hub if you would like to learn more about that. Number 4 is, what are you leaving behind? What are some things that you'd like to leave in 2021? Maybe some habits, maybe some particular types of clients, maybe product that's not working quite so well. I don't know, anything really, personal and business, some things that you can release and use the new year as a clean slate. Number 5 is identify some new habits that you would like to start implementing and carry through with you. You don't have to start these in the new year. You can start creating new habits anytime. But for some reason, we really do like to use a new year as an opportunity to create resolutions, I suppose. But I'd love to think that we can think of them as habits and be really intentional about carrying them through with us into the new year. And lovely, if you don't feel like planning until you've had a rest, then don't. If your working year officially starts when the kids go back to school in February, you do what works for you. Release yourself from the pressure of being more and doing more. Intentional, steady brand growth is cultivated with small steps in the right direction, not necessarily in huge leaps and bounds. This is my last podcast recording for this year, and I want to say thank you so much for supporting me with this new venture. I'll be back in late January with some beautiful new guests and their brand stories, along with branding takeaways and wisdom to keep you striving towards cultivating your beautiful brand. So have a beautiful Christmas, and I will see you in 2022. If you loved listening to this week's episode, pretty please click subscribe so that you don't miss any future podcasts. Also, if you have just a minute, please feel free to leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I'd so appreciate it, and it will help spread this message further. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you next week.